Hi, everybody, and thank you back. Thank you.
Nailed it. We're new.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Thanks for Not Dying. And I hope you watched our first episode. We kind of shut the fuck up.
You tell her, though.
Cut. Hi, everybody.
You can do it. Keep going. You are enough. See?
Hi, everybody. Thanks for coming back.
She even had a different tone in her voice. Hi, everybody. You got this, bro.
Hi, and welcome back to Thanks for Not Dying. I hope you watched our first episode, which we were kind of rambling all over the place, but we're new at this. We're trying to figure it out. Thanks, Tay. See what I mean?
We got you.
So we're talking about
My mic was
mental health. What?
Now it's on.
Okay. We all good? So we are talking about mental health and depression, and I actually had 2 suicide attempts that has changed our lives. Mm-hmm. That we're all sitting here for a reason, and that reason is we're hoping to help others navigate through their depression and mental health awareness, and I just want to help people. That's my goal. That's my goal of doing this whole entire thing.
She's a helper.
So. She is. Yeah, and I don't want to be ashamed anymore. I'm feeling this way, and I want to just freaking help people. I want to get it out. I want to talk about it. So let's get into it
and make more people feel comfortable talking about it too.
Exactly.
Nothing to be ashamed of. Everybody has their struggles. Everybody has their things.
Exactly. It's part of my life.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a part of my life for the rest of my life. So. Yeah.
So what do you want to talk about this time?
So let's talk about what the hell started this whole entire thing.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
So where do you think it started?
This time around, so you've had depression for how long did you say?
Probably about 15 years,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
With little spurts here and there throughout, but
yeah.
Never, of course, with this in the last year.
Right.
How bad this was.
Right. It was 15 years that I dealt with this, probably, I think, maybe 1 to 3 times of little spurts, but nothing, maybe within months, nothing like this past year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This past year, so you said you had 2 suicide attempts. Your first one was in November. We talked about last episode that I'm now a first-time mom.
Right.
And do we want to kind of dive into that?
Yeah, let's dive into that. Okay.
So,
diving into this is meaning like kind of like a trigger, we think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is what triggered this
bout of depression.
Right.
That she went through for the past year. Just based on, the timeline of things and the trauma that we experienced. So, I had fits in July 10th of 2024. I had an amazing pregnancy. Like, I was never sick. I loved being pregnant. I had no complications, nothing, no high blood pressure, no gestational diabetes. Honestly, I had, a walk in the park pregnancy.
Yeah,
I would say. I felt great. Yeah.
You looked gorgeous.
Thank you. I felt like the most beautiful I've ever felt in my life. I loved being pregnant. Fitz was measuring pretty big, and so I chose to be induced 5 days before 6 days before his due date. So July 9th, we all went in at 6 o'clock in the morning.
We were all there.
I was there.
And my husband Nate, obviously, and Fitz in my belly. Went to the hospital, started the induction process. Everything was going so fast. Do you guys remember?
Oh yeah.
Got the whatever. We won't get into the details of my vagina.
Come on. Why not?
Well, now I want to know.
But I went through, all the induction things. And I think it was by noon that same day. So we went in at 6 a.m., started the medications. Noon of that day. What was that? Breathe. Noon of that day, they started wheeling in that warmer that they put the babies in when they come out. And I'm like, holy shit, I'm going to push a baby out. And I just got induced 6 hours ago. I was freaking out. And then things started slowing down. And long story short, It ended up being a really, really long labor, right? I mean, I was in labor for a total of 22 hours. I pushed for 2.5 hours. By the end, I was like, suck him out of me. I get him out. Like, I cannot do this anymore. I had oxygen on my face. I had a washcloth. Like, I have never been so defeated and exhausted in my life. And I know you were like, it was horrible watching her
It was
go
scary.
through that. It was scary.
I felt terrible for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it just felt like he was never coming out. And for like 2.5 hours, everyone's like, he's almost there, he's almost there. And I'm like, you guys are gaslighting me. There's not even a baby in there.
He almost there every time.
He was. But then he came out, literally came out gorgeous. Like, he is just the most beautiful, perfect baby in the whole world. Thank gosh for him. And then had him, everything was great. Stayed at the hospital for like 3 days just because I had him at 4 a.m. And we were kind of just like milking it, honestly. We're like,
Yeah.
stay here, let's stay here.
Let that take
I was feeling really good. The only thing, I was like having like a tightness around kind of like my abdomen, like underneath, you know, like where my rib cage is. And I had brought it up to them there. I'm like, you know, just have this weird like tightness. And they're like, well, Taylor, you pushed for 2.5 hours, you know, like that position. Makes sense. And I'm like, oh yeah, it's probably just bruised or sore or something. Didn't really think much of it. So we ended up having him on Wednesday, went home on Friday, and then Saturday morning I woke up. My mom had stayed at the hospital. Jen, they kept coming back and forth. And then our first night we got home, we're like, let's just be home, the two of us, me and Nate, and Fitz, obviously, and just kind of figure this out, right? So Friday night. Saturday morning, I wake up, and I'm like, I don't really feel very good, but I don't know, maybe it's just nothing. I started having diarrhea, and I was really hot, and I was like, I just don't overall feel well. And I happened to have a blood pressure machine at home, and I'm like, I just want to check my blood pressure, just for fun. I don't know, I have like health anxiety, and the whole time I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to get preeclampsia, or I was just terrified the whole time. So I checked it afterward, and I'm like, whoa, that can't be good. My blood pressure was 199 over 89, and I'm like, that's really, really high. And then it said on there too, because it checks your pulse, and it said my pulse was 31. And I'm like, that cannot be right. So I called my OB, and I'm like, hey, you know, this is what it said. And she's like, yeah, you know, you need to go to the emergency room. And I'm like, so terrified in general. So obviously, what do? Call my mom. Poor thing. She just got back home. She was like, yeah, I'm home. I'm like, hey, can you come back, please? I have to go to the ER. I don't really know. I don't think it's anything serious, you know, like whatever. I just have high blood pressure. Go to the emergency room. Obviously, we still have a 4-day-old son at home, so we don't want to take him to the hospital. So I end up going to the hospital alone. Nate drops me off there and stays at home until his parents can come because they live closer than my parents do. So I'm in the hospital alone, and I go in there. I tell them my OB says I have to come in. My blood pressure's really high, and I'm having chest pain. So when you say, obviously, in the emergency room that you have chest pain, it like is a red flag, and I get rushed back there. They're running all these tests, they're doing all these scans, like everything is happening so fast, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what is happening? Still 4 days postpartum, by the way. I'm still like bleeding, and I'm just like, I don't even know what's going on. My mind isn't even fully functioning.
Well, plus you being a new mom, you don't really know what to expect and what you're supposed to feel like. So
Right.
it's probably a little confusing. Like, is this something I need to worry about?
Or does this happen to everybody? I have a
Exactly.
baby. I don't know. Maybe people just don't feel good, you know?
Right. But the blood pressure and the pulse, that's not good. Yeah.
So then my mom and Jen finally get there. Nate finally gets there because his parents are so helpful and nice. They come and watch Fitz while this is happening. Again, we're thinking, oh, it's probably nothing, but you know, we're an army and we always do stuff together. So
Yeah.
as we do, Jen and my mom came immediately. And we're all just sitting in the room like, oh, I wonder what this could be. And what did we say last episode? Don't Google shit.
Don't Google shit.
We started Googling stuff. And, you know, the worst case scenario. But we never even came across what they came in the room and told us on Google.
No.
Way worse than we ever thought. So we're sitting there, well, I'm laying there, and this PA comes in and she's like, have you ever heard of congestive heart failure?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah. Are you in the right room? Like, why are you coming in here talking about heart failure?
Wrong
This is so
room.
random. And she's like, that's what you have. And I'm like, what? And she's like, yeah, your heart, you need to go up to the CCU, the cardiac care unit, you know, we think you're in active heart failure. And I'm thinking, somebody comes in, I'm 4 days postpartum, I don't even know what's going on. She's telling me I'm in heart failure. I think I'm dying.
Oh,
right?
yeah,
I mean, that's what
too.
everybody thought.
Oh, yeah.
Still to this day, I'm like, I wish they would have sedated me because I will never forget. I was crying so hard. My husband's on one side of me, my mom and Jen are on the other side of me. We're all just bawling. I can't breathe. Like your whole life flashes before your eyes. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I just had a baby and now I'm dying. Like that. And then they don't provide you any other details. And they just say, okay, now go to CCU. And I'm thinking, I'm 30 years old and I'm in heart failure and I just had, so many things go through your head and then everything after that happens so fast. They put the defibrillator or whatever on my bed and they're rushing me up to CCU, which is scary. And nobody else is allowed to come with me because the cardiologist is meeting me in the room. So seriously, everything we're thinking is that I'm dying. And I know probably from your guys' side, it was just as scary, right?
Oh, yeah.
What were you guys thinking?
I was thinking the same thing. Like, this is the last time I'm going to see Tay. Like, this is
Yeah.
scary. Yeah.
Well, plus, like you said, we don't Google anything, but we did.
Mhm.
All of us were Googling it.
It didn't
And it
look
did not ever, nothing came back as, you're going to survive this at all. It was terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and that's when I kind of saw her face. And
Yeah.
that was even more terrifying. And I think that's kind of what, seeing her daughter going through something like that
Mm-hmm.
kind of triggered the depression that came back to her. Me just seeing her face personally, it was like all the color left her face.
Because you guys went outside. Because you guys, seriously, it was to the point where you guys were like, okay, we're going to give you and Nate privacy. Like, I'm thinking they're leaving me and Nate to, say our goodbyes. Like, that's honestly how it felt.
Did it really?
Yeah, like,
Aww.
still have trauma to process from that, but that's what therapy's for. And you guys went outside, and then I think that's when you told me later on, your mom's face totally changed.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think your face ever was really the same after that.
Yeah, I just remember Jen telling me. I don't remember. I know I was bawling and crying and a mess. And Jen was like, Robin, you need to snap out of this. You can't go back in there and let Tay see you like this.
I mean, it wasn't like a bitch.
No.
Well,
So
maybe.
well.
But I was like, maybe, I was like trying to make you straight, just like, hey, we gotta be strong for each
Right,
other. Like,
exactly.
we can't go in there crying and.
Yeah. But I know.
Yeah. And so I think kind of that moment, obviously, because we still never really received direct answers of what happened, right?
No.
So I start in the ER, immediately get rushed to the CCU. I go to the CCU alone. The cardiologist meets me there, takes an up and down look at me, asks me 3 questions, and goes, "You're not in heart failure." So imagine the whiplash that I'm experiencing in this 20-minute moment where one person's saying you have heart failure, you're dying, you're being rushed to the CCU. The minute you get there, the cardiologist is like, nope, not heart failure. And I'm like, what? So what is it? Like, I'm just so confused. So then I got bounced back to the labor and delivery floor. And I was so excited because I could have Fitz visit me there. I'm a new mom, and I'm like, I have a 4-day-old, I want to see my child. And my mom brought him there. Mm-hmm. Or no, Nate brought him there. Because
Nate brought him there that
he had his first doctor's appointment, which I had to miss, which was really sad. So Nate brought him there after the doctor's appointment, and I'm holding Fitz, and you ran out to get food, I think, for us.
Mm-hmm.
And while you were gone, they came back and told me, the way kind of that my levels were at that moment, it was too much for them to monitor. And they're like, you need further monitoring, and so you have to go to the ICU. Mm-hmm. And again, this whiplash of, okay, you have heart failure. No, you don't have heart failure. Okay, now you need to go to the ICU. To me, the ICU is the worst of the worst, right? So then my mom comes back in the room with food, hey guys, and I'm bawling, I have to go to the ICU.
I remember this.
My mom's like, what? And they're like, you have to go now. And my mom had to literally take Fitz out of my arm. I'm bawling. She has to now take care of my child again with no answers, and she has to leave, and we just don't know what's going on. Long story short, I did not have heart failure. We did confirm that I was never in heart failure. I was overloaded with fluids, and kind of all my levels were wacky. So my potassium was really low, and they needed to give me diuretics to release all the fluid from my body. But they were afraid to do so because my potassium was so low, and it lowers your potassium or sodium or something. I don't even know. Again, I was 4 days postpartum. I don't even think I was fully functioning at that time to even comprehend what they were saying.
Right.
But, so I think that was a very scary moment for you, especially because you had to take care of my son.
Oh, I remember it perfectly. I remember that
Yeah.
feeling perfectly. I had to take him from you, put him in his car seat, and walk out by myself. I remember pushing the elevator button and holding him and wondering, is this really happening right now?
And not knowing
awful.
what was truly wrong with me.
Right, I had no idea.
And suddenly becoming a mom to a newborn, essentially.
Yeah.
You know, having to take care of him, not really even knowing him.
Right.
You know, worried about your child. And, you know, I think that kind of sparked everything that has happened the past year. Again, maybe it's not everything because you have had depression for 15 years, but I really do think that triggered something inside of you.
Oh, I think it did, yeah.
And, you know, you were a really young single mom. You had me when you were 20, which was hard.
Didn't one of your psychiatrists or somebody say that it could have been like a postpartum?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. My psychiatrist. I know I briefly mentioned in the previous episode about the trails.
Which was inpatient, by the way.
It was inpatient.
I think I accidentally said outpatient.
She said outpatient, but it was inpatient.
She stayed there for 26 days.
Yeah, and they offered therapy there. You know, private therapy or not private therapy, one-on-one therapy, and also group therapy. But my therapist there had mentioned, you know, I think you got her postpartum depression. Just mainly because I've gone through depression before, and it triggered my depression back.
Yeah. Well, and they said too, when you had me when you were so young, and how you've had depression for so long, when you had me, your life was so chaotic that you didn't really have like the opportunity to have postpartum depression.
Right.
That's kind of what she said. Because, you know, you were working like 3 jobs, you're a single mom, you're a young single mom.
Right.
And so then when this happened to me, your like postpartum that was stagnant kind of like came to the front, basically.
Right. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And I don't think though that we really knew how bad it was until like September.
No, I don't think so. Yeah.
But I think looking back now, I think at least I'm sure maybe you can agree that there were maybe like little signs.
Oh yeah, there was definitely.
Looking back now,
Just your face in general and the way that you, I don't know, it was like you wouldn't even really go on golf cart rides with me anymore.
Oh, really?
Like, so to confirm the golf cart rides, we live in a lake area. So like in the summertime, we could get on the golf cart, go visit neighbors, just right around. I mean, that's pretty much how, I only live like seriously 3 seconds.
0.3 miles. Yeah.
0.3 miles. So like 3
feels
seconds.
closer than that.
It does.
200 feet.
It's seriously super close. So like when I say like golf cart rides, like I'll drive down here and we'll jump on the golf cart ride and go for rides together or whatever. But she never really got excited about the normal little things that she would get excited about. And she would just have like this blank face. And then it would just come and go. I don't know. It was like she was there one minute and then the next second she was not there anymore. I don't know.
And she was scared all the time.
So scared all the time.
Even through all of her depression the past year, one thing you kept saying was you were just scared. You were scared to go anywhere, you were scared to do anything, you were scared to see people. I think that fear, like your body was kind of stuck in like a fight or flight mode, like you were just frozen there out of fear of still not really comprehending what happened to me.
Probably.
You know?
Yeah. It's weird because I don't really have memory of a lot of things. I remember the pain. I definitely remember the pain, but I don't remember the fear and the scaredness of it all. Yeah.
And I think that was such a trauma-filled event that the pain you were feeling was trauma trapped in your body from what we experienced in that moment, that, again, you had to be strong and take care of my child, and you didn't even get a second to process what was actually happening, you know? And it was your body, like, telling you something's wrong, you know, like it's stuck in this scary moment. And, you know?
Yeah.
So I feel like, again, that wasn't like the whole thing, but I think that was definitely like a big part of it based on the timeline and how traumatic that was.
It had to have been a part of it somehow.
Yeah.
For sure. Because the timeline of it with me, you know, my first attempt was in November. You had the baby in July, and I think it was just a gradual...
July before your first attempt.
Right, July before, yeah. I think it was just a gradual decline of my health, basically, my mental health. Yeah.
I think so too. And I think probably too for Jen, it was just a really hard time because we're all so close. And I think it was probably, I mean, you can obviously say how you felt during that time, but like you said, you live 0.3 miles from her, so you would see her a lot more than me.
Oh yeah, I'd see her every day.
It was every
2 or
day,
3,
yeah.
4 times a day, but it kind of slowed down for a while. Like you wouldn't just stop by just to say hi, or I don't know. It was just like looking back on it, I didn't really pinpoint it then. Like you just kind of look back now, like oh yeah, I do remember you being that way. Like it was just sort of. I remember too. Remember your concert band that you had in the city or whatever?
Yes,
yeah.
I remember this.
And I remember that was pretty much, Craig came over, and that was like a month into our relationship, if that even, whatever. And I remember I was excited to come down and help you set up, and you were so quiet, and it was just so hard to explain.
I actually remember those times.
Remember we were.
Did we know she had depression then, or I can't?
I think we
remember.
were trying to figure.
I don't think we did because I remember. So
No, we did.
I think we
We
might have.
Because I went on that boat trip with Craig and his friends, Hosies and Brandy and Robbie and them. And I remember talking to Stacy a lot about it, but I didn't really know how to explain it. And I remember
Maybe we didn't even know it was depression at the time.
I don't even know. Like,
Yeah.
it was just kind of like, we were just like, I don't know what's wrong with her type thing. And then I remember, so back to the band when you had the band here.
we had a band at my house, and we had all of our neighbors over to watch it. So we had a big party, pretty much. Yeah.
A big party, and so I was here the day of that morning, setting up, helping you set up. And then I remember you were just, I mean, literally, you were so quiet. And like, it was so hard to even have a conversation, which made it that much more awkward. I remember leaving and telling Craig, like, there's something not right.
I remember this.
And then at the party, though, I remember you two cracking up.
We were laughing.
And I was so happy to see how happy you guys were. I'm like, what am I missing? I want to
I
be part of
forget
what
what
you
was
guys
so
are laughing
funny.
about.
What we were
I don't
laughing
know, something
about.
stupid.
It was
laughed
stuff. But I remember that it was just like, it felt great to see you smiling and laughing like that. And I was like, oh my gosh, she is okay. Like, what? I'm overthinking. I don't know.
But I remember it was kind of a forced laugh.
Yeah, because I was going to say, was it the next morning?
Yeah,
the
very
very
next
first
morning.
time that it was really bad.
Right.
Well, I remember it was, so the next morning, so where did you spend the night?
No.
No, I was
So
at
Nate and I
Taylor
were here.
and her husband Nate spent the night with the baby,
Mm-hmm.
and Jed was just went back home, and she lives close. But I remember waking up before everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
I actually was having a panic attack.
Or no, wait. I did spend the night.
No, I don't think you did.
I was
They
at Craig's,
called
but
you.
then he left really early.
Yes.
And then I came here. And then Mike called me. He didn't know I was upstairs.
Uh-huh.
And so I came downstairs. So
And
I
then
was here.
I woke up my husband up before he even woke up. I was like, Mike. He's like, what? What's going on? I go, I'm not normal. I am not normal. There's something wrong with me. I just remember that party that we had, how everybody was having so much fun and laughing and carrying it on, and I was so faking everything about me. I was trying so hard to have fun. I wanted to have fun. I couldn't have fun. The pain was there. The pain was all over my entire body. But I wanted to be normal so badly that night. But I wasn't. I woke up like, I'm not normal. There's something wrong with me. I can't be normal. I can't be happy. I wasn't happy. I was faking it. I was faking every little thing about it. I was faking laughing with my daughter, which was awful. Because I wanted to be normal so badly. It was just so scary. So that was the time we decided to go to the emergency room, right?
I don't think you went to the emergency room that time.
It was
Jen
that
came
Monday
upstairs.
after. That was Sunday morning, so it
Yeah.
was the Monday morning after. So it was a day later.
Because Jen
Okay.
came upstairs and basically was just like, your mom is not good. And I was like, oh my gosh. Like, we had just woken up, trying to kind of just get my thoughts together, and I come down and I could just tell, like, you're just pacing around. You're not doing well. Nobody really knows what to do. So we're all trying to Google stuff. That's when we were trying to get you in with a psychiatrist. And I remember trying to even just get on, like, BetterHelp, I think, or something. Like, some type of a therapist or psychiatrist.
That's
Or
online.
yeah, like, to get you into anybody online. And Mike's giving me your insurance information. I'm trying to find stuff. Was that the time, too, when we were on, like, chatting with a suicide hotline person, too? And I was trying to have you chat with a suicide hotline person while I was trying to find you a psychiatrist at the same time, and you couldn't even type anything. into the phone. Like
Oh,
you couldn't
wow.
even
You kept not throwing, but she
kind
hated
of,
it.
yeah.
She would give the phone to you and be like, can you just do it? I can't even think straight to do this.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
I can't, because the suicide people, I mean, they're so nice and helpful, but they're asking you direct questions about how you're feeling, and you're like, you do it. And I'm like, well, I don't exactly know how you feel,
Right.
you know?
I that's how awful I felt.
Yeah.
I couldn't talk to anybody. Yeah.
And I get that, and you just don't know what to do, and it's so, like, overwhelming on your whole mind and your whole body that you don't even know what to say or where to turn. And neither did we, but it's like we're all just grasping at straws trying to find anything. And I think that we couldn't even get you into a psychiatrist or a therapist or anything on that Sunday, and I think that Monday is when she decided to go to the ER, right?
And that was in August, right? So it was
No, that was it?
No, it wasn't August. It was
September?
it was beginning of October.
Oh, October.
Very beginning of October. But I do remember too that same day I called Stacy to find
Yeah.
out, and then we all just kind of laid down in bed with her. Well, Stacy didn't, but me and you did.
Oh, remember, because we were trying to get her into the shower,
Yeah.
and she kept asking Stacy, because Stacy was trying to just kind of coach her through it. And Mom's like, well, when am I going to get better? How am I going to get over this? And
How long did, because she was going through similar things. But yeah, she was really, I mean, she was great for you to talk to. I mean, I think you talked to her for like a good 30 minutes.
I kind of remember that. A little bit.
And then she just kind of coached us through it too. Like, okay,
Yeah.
light some candles, think about your breath work,
meditate.
meditate, and we put on an app of some sort for meditation.
Insight
Mhm.
timer.
Yes.
It's like
And
that,
we
yeah.
all laid down. We had pretty smelling candles. And
Yeah. I remember
It was actually
I
very
was-
relaxing.
Me and Tay almost fell asleep.
Yeah.
We had to like focus on
Did I fall asleep? I think
We thought that you did. So Jen and I left because you also hadn't really slept in a while.
Right.
And so Jen and I left, and then I don't even, maybe that same day or however long after, you're like, I wasn't sleeping. I know you guys slept.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my gosh. Sorry.
You had a lot of attitude like that.
You kind of did, yeah.
Which we understood, but we didn't understand. We
Oh,
were still
right.
trying to figure out what you were feeling, what was going on. We had no idea.
Right.
So it was just that much more frustrating because we wanted to help you, but yet we did not understand. We couldn't grasp what you were telling us, like the pain and the, like you couldn't breathe. You kept saying you couldn't really like. catch
Oh
your
yeah, I
breath.
couldn't catch my breath.
Yeah.
I remember that.
So it was so
I
frustrating.
couldn't eat. I couldn't
Yeah.
anything. Yeah, it was awful.
And I think as somebody that's obviously close to somebody that struggled with mental health is, one thing I do want to say to like other family members or friends or anyone that's close to somebody that struggles with mental health, like it is okay to have your own feelings about it too. Like there were still times, and there are still times that I don't understand, or I didn't understand, or I became frustrated, or there were times where I was very angry, you know.
Oh, it's hard
or
to understand, I'm sure.
sad or confused, and that's okay. Like obviously I felt horrible for you the whole time, but selfishly there were times where I'm like, this fucking sucks. You know, for you and for everyone else. So anybody out there that is close to somebody that struggles with mental health, like it's okay to have your own like selfish
It's okay
feelings
to
about
not
it
be
too.
okay.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Because it is
it's okay to
frustrating.
not be okay.
It is. Can I explain our outfits real quick?
Oh yeah.
Let me get closer. So we have these sweatshirts on that say you are enough. You're and then the back. Can they see the back?
It's probably backwards. Here, turn around and we can read it to him. Jen will read it to him.
Okay. So it says, "Dear person behind me, the world is a better place with you in it. Love the person in front of you."
Yes.
I love inspirational little outfits like that. But we both all three have the same outfits on.
Why do we have the same outfits? Why do we all have the same sweatshirts?
What do you mean? Because I have depression. Like,
Well, I mean, like-
suicide.
You did not commit suicide.
Oh, that's right. I
Attempted
to commit suicide.
But I mean, do you remember who got us these sweatshirts?
No.
Jen did.
Oh, I'm done with it.
Well, I think you actually got us these
I did.
later on, I think.
I don't know.
Because I know, right, okay, so your first
Mhm.
attempt, when you were in the psych ward, we didn't know what we were supposed to be doing.
No.
And I think that just made me feel better knowing you were going to the trails, which was an inpatient.
Which we had to like
So-
beg her to go
Oh my God,
go
we
to.
thought we were gonna have to put in a straitjacket, but she did okay.
And I think like if we want to touch on the like mental health hospitals really quick, like the whole entire process behind it, I know maybe you don't exactly remember, but it's horrible, right? I mean, you had to go to the ER, ask to be admitted. You were there for hours and hours.
Oh, Mike
in the
and I
emergency
do
room.
remember being in the Cleveland Clinic. Is that what you're talking about?
Yep.
Mike and I went there, and I remember having to sleep while we were waiting to get looked at in a tiny little hospital bed, and we slept overnight.
Well, also the emergency room was overflowed, so you were in a hall bed.
We were in a hall bed.
Having
Yeah,
a
we were in a
mental
hall bed.
health episode.
Yeah.
In front of so many people.
Yep.
Which is scary, and I'm sure you felt embarrassed.
Oh yeah.
And you
I
didn't know
was-
what to expect, and then they basically said the only way they can help you is if you admit yourself. And so that's what you did.
That's what I did.
And then you still had to wait. They ended up coming at like 4 o'clock in the morning, loaded you up in the back of this van.
By
Mike
myself.
couldn't go with
It
you.
was so scary.
By
It felt like I
yourself.
was going to prison.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like. It felt like I was going to prison.
And sadly, it is kind of like a prison, right? I mean, visiting you was so hard and so sad. Leaving you was even worse.
Yeah.
And then just like hoping that it helps, you know?
Exactly.
Like,
yeah.
okay, but
But
this
I had
is the
to
best
do
place
it.
for her to be, right?
what I
And
had
it's
to
like,
do.
is it? You just don't know.
Do you remember visiting her in the first psych ward?
Yes.
And then her helping all the people there?
Yeah, because she's a helper.
She's a helper.
What was I doing?
You were helping, especially
This older guy.
this older guy, and I remember the younger kid that was like
Mhm.
my son's age, my oldest son's
Yeah.
age. And all you wanted to
You were like
help
everyone's
them.
mom. You were
like,
yeah,
I don't remember. I don't
Yeah,
remember
well,
that.
yeah.
I don't remember being at that psych ward at all.
oh, okay.
doing people's laundry. You were playing games with people, like just helping people.
You
Because
felt
that's
so
the type
bad
of
for
person
them,
you are.
and
Aww.
some people didn't have visitors like you
Mhm.
did, and so you felt so bad for them, and then
I would. That
It
would
was-
be sad.
it was horrible for all
Yeah.
of us, but it was just
But I was gonna say too. So you know, the only way to get help is you admit yourself and don't know what to expect. You're in this basically prison, and then after a couple few days, they change your meds, and they're like, okay, you're good to go home. And we're like, no, she's not good to go home. Well, actually, the first time we're like, okay, I guess this is how it goes. She's good to go home. And then you had your first suicide attempt, and then at that point, you went back into another mental hospital. And then, how long was she in there? 3 or 4 days? It was not a very long time.
no, it wasn't, and we were just so nervous,
And
and
that's-
that's why we were like,
Mhm.
we need to find something else out because obviously we thought we were gonna be able to sleep because you
No.
need 24/7 care. We were so scared you were going to attempt it.
I remember being on the phone with Tay while I was there. That's the only thing I remember really about this is because I think it scared the shit out of me. Because Taylor was like, "You can't come home, Mom. You can't come home."
You had just tried to kill yourself 3 days prior,
yeah.
and they're
At
like,
first
she's
I was
good.
like, "Yes, I can." But then after I thought about it for a while, I was like, "You're right. I mean, I would be scared if I was you too.
Mhm.
Like, it would be terrible."
So
Yeah.
backtrack a little bit. So she was in the psych ward that she actually admitted herself in.
In October, yeah.
And then you came home, and that
Mm-hmm.
was, so October was the first psych ward. Then she came home, and that was the beginning of October,
Like middle of October, yeah.
middle, yeah, and then she attempted again? Or
Her first attempt was November 10th.
November 10th.
Okay,
The day
And
Fitzy
then-
turned 4 months old.
we'll kind of get into
Oh,
that
it
too.
was.
Yeah, oh God, I know, that was just heartbreaking, because I
Aw.
remember it broke your heart, you're like, well, it's hard to celebrate his month's birthdays.
Oh my God, that's so sad.
Yeah, so, yeah, that's really sad, but.
And then that was another thing too, was when you admitted yourself, they changed your medications, and I think that's another really not cool thing, but very interesting thing that I think we should also talk about is the genetic testing that we ended up doing, like down the road. Because when you first admitted yourself, they changed your medication. And then, how long ago was that they did the genetic testing? Maybe like 4 months ago? I don't know. It wasn't very long ago. And we found out that the one that you have like the worst side effects on is the medication that they changed you to take right before your first suicide attempt. So we always just thought that was really interesting. Like they changed your medication and this is basically like the worst one for you to take, and then you ended up having a suicide attempt. So I just thought.
So was the genetic
was
testing
interesting.
before or after my second attempt in April?
It was after.
After.
It was after your second attempt because we were so concerned. Like, I mean, of course we were before,
Right.
but
No, I think it was before.
was it after? I think it was after.
No, it was before because after is when she started the ACT.
Was it?
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to look back.
See, so much stuff has happened, you guys.
There's
We can't-
It's
Wow.
hard to keep it straight. But yeah, I think it was before, but it wasn't like soon enough for you to switch your meds again to like something that was better before your. I think.
I can't remember.
See, this is why we need Mike here because he
Right.
would know.
No,
We
no.
can go back in our
Mike's
minds.
being is my husband, by the way, Mike.
But yeah, so genetic testing is really interesting too. We'll touch on that in another episode. But
In another episode too, we can walk through like, because of course we never expected you to attempt suicide, ever.
and she always said,
neither.
"I would never do that."
No.
Oh, I
Which
always
we
said that's.
never
I
thought.
always said before any of this how selfish suicide is. I've always said that,
Not understanding.
and not understanding how people get that way and everything else. But now it's just like unbelievable. I mean, it can happen. It can
Really
happen to
scary.
anybody.
It's really
The tricks that your brain plays on you
Mm-hmm.
in moments like that.
Yeah.
And it's really scary, and it was just so, the series of events on your first attempt that it took for us to even realize that you attempted suicide. And we didn't even know it, that you attempted suicide until we were at the emergency room. And it was like 15, 20 minutes into being there that we even understood that you even attempted suicide. We were like, what? And then that's when we were just like, but we'll get into that. We'll get into our little stories of each of
Right.
us.
Yeah.
Next episode, maybe you can
Yeah.
talk about your first attempt.
First attempt.
If you remember.
Well, I remember the day before. And I remember very little about the morning of. And then that's it. No.
I remember everything, which
Yeah.
is so sad and scary, but it's just so crazy that you don't remember
Oh,
so
I think
much.
the whole thing seems unbelievable. Still in my mind, it's unbelievable, and to think about that I don't remember it is scary. But I'm kind of glad I don't remember. Honestly, yeah.
It might be your body trying to help you with
Protect
trauma, protect you from
Right.
what you did, put yourself through. Well,
Yeah.
protecting you from you, pretty much.
Definitely.
So sad.
And I do remember, I feel like I saw, maybe on TikTok or something, circling back on kind of the trauma that like we all experienced after my birth of Fitz, is that they always say if you ever experience something super traumatic, play Tetris, like immediately.
Really?
You remember playing that with her?
I
She
don't.
tried to give it to you. It was like this little game thing. I remember that.
But I downloaded the app on my phone when I was still in the hospital because, don't quote me on this, I don't remember the exact science behind it. Something about Tetris, when you experience a traumatic event, is it helps like block it from your brain or something. I could be totally wrong in the way I'm explaining this, but I did play Tetris right after, and I kept telling you guys to play it. Obviously, I don't think that stopped me from like healing or anything, but I don't know if maybe that helped in a way. So if anybody ever experiences anything traumatic, play Tetris.
Really? Did I
Yeah.
help you at the time?
I think it did. I mean,
Well, that's good.
yeah, obviously a lot more
No,
traumatic
this is
things happen
obviously
after.
new to me.
I would think it would probably make you just
Focus
all
on
you can
something
think about,
else.
like is
Yeah.
Tetris, and you have to win the game because we're very competitive.
Right.
as a family.
If anybody knows what I'm talking about, comment what the like story is behind Tetris and traumatic events, because I'd like to know, because I can't remember exactly.
I remember it perfectly. I know your mom. I remember she was getting almost more anxious trying to play it though.
Did I?
Well, that was that little like game. The little that was like the puzzle thing
Okay,
that you're talking about. But yeah, actual Tetris, like the game app on your phone. I remember I downloaded it and I just kept playing it and playing it and playing it and playing it and playing it in the hospital because I had nothing
You were
else to do.
addicted.
Yeah, but seriously, you guys, if you know what I'm talking about, comment and let me know.
Really? That's common, huh?
Mm-hmm. I
Interesting.
guess TikTok.
TikTok.
You know. So, but yeah.
So yeah, any closing thoughts?
Well, Any closing thoughts? I still can't believe I'm sitting here doing a podcast about my suicide attempts.
We can't either.
That's a
I think we'll
closing
probably
thought
say
for you.
that every episode.
Oh yeah, it's unbelievable, unbelievable. But I just hope to get somebody out there hope for sure. Yeah, and that's my final thought.
It does get better,
It does get better.
even in the moments that you think it won't.
Goodness, I am doing wonderful now. I really am.
Thank
Wonderful.
God you are doing
It's
wonderful.
taken time. It's taken work.
A lot of work.
A lot of work for sure with help. Yeah. So
And just if you're, if you have any kind of mental health issues, please make sure you reach out to someone that you trust.
yes, trust
And-
somebody. And the suicide hotline is 988.
Mm-hmm.
Call that for sure.
You can also chat to somebody online.
There's online help. Just Google it. Just Google it. Suicide help. Yeah. There's everything that comes up on there. You can get help that way. There's help out there for you. There is. Just don't give up.
And remember, you are enough.
Always.
You are enough.
You are enough.
You
And you are enough.
I am
You are
enough.
enough.
I'm
You are
enough. Know that now. Well, thanks for joining us, everybody, and
Yes.
We'll see you next time.
see you next time.
Bye.
Stay tuned.